What is good, you guys? It's your boy Bolo, and today is another great day for a Beatmaker 3 tutorial. Today, we're gonna make a beat from start to finish. Bolo! So, a lot of you guys hit me up because you want to know how to make a beat from Beatmaker 3 from start to finish. And a lot of the videos, I kind of did it already, but I guess you want me to do it basically from when I open up the program to when I close it. So I'm gonna show you guys how to get everything started, how to make beats in it, how to set up the quantize, how to add, drums to tracks, how to sequence it, and how to export it. So you might can take it to another program to do some further mixing to it, or you can mix inside of Beatmaker 3. So let's go ahead and get to the tutorial. But first, please like, please subscribe, please comment, and please turn on those post notifications so you will know the next time I have another video available. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's go ahead and get to the tutorial right now. Okay, first things first. This beat is only for tutorial purposes only. It's going to be a very simple beat. I'm just want to show you guys how to get started on Beatmaker 3 for all you new Beatmaker 3 users. So if the beat sounds like crap, oh well, I'll still put it up for free so y'all guys can get it. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna see when you open up Beatmaker 3 is you're gonna see this screen right here with new session, open session, quick start guide, visit the sound store, which they have their own sounds, recommend a friend, and log in with Facebook. And I have a few beats that was already done already, but we're gonna do a new session. Okay, so we're gonna open this up, and as you can see, this is what you see, pads. For all you people that are not used to this, do not be scared. This is gonna be your best friend. Okay, so we're gonna click out of here, and we're gonna talk about some of the things that you see around here. Okay, first thing you see is you see the beats, which everybody should know what that is. That's your bars and all that stuff like that. So you can see you have your tempo right here, which you can open this up. You have a tap tempo where you can tap the tempo in. You have your time signature. You have your global swing, swing ratio, and your swing sync. All that good stuff. Also, like your BPM, if you want to change the BPM, if you have a smart, the little pen tool or whatever, you can just change that or whatever, or you can use your finger and just go up or down or left and right, and it will change the tempo. Look at that, it's dope. Now, I want my tempo to be like 75, but I make my beats in double time. So let's do this at 75. I wish I had my pen too. So 75, but I make my beats in double time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit ×2, and it's gonna take me to 150 because I like my beats in double time. That's cool. So now we have the quantize. What I do is I have my quantize notes on, quantize notes off, and then I have it on 1/16 because I like to do everything in 1/16 or 1/8 because I like to work in double time. I have my pre-roll, which is on. My pre-roll is 1 bar. That's basically the count in before you start a beat. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, boom, and then you start making your beat. So that's your pre-roll. Okay, right here we have automations. I don't use any automations right now, but this program does have automations in it, and it's actually dope to use the automations for it with the plugins. Well, my bad, not plugins. They're called audio units that come with this program that you can buy separately. This right here, that just highlighted, I just clicked on. When you turn that on, that is your metronome. That lets you hear all the stuff counting. That's your metronome. So we're going to turn that on right now. You got your stop, your play, your record, and your rewind and fast forward stuff. You have your loop right here. You have your undo, your save, and redo. That redo button is going to be your best friend on here. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the track view mode, which we have all the tracks right here. We have right here where it says A1 and where it says Bank 1. Don't get it confused. It's still a track. It just calls itself Bank 1. It's not a bank. It's nothing. It's just a track. I would do another video talking about scenes and patterns and all that stuff, but just to get started, this is all you need. These are nothing but tracks, and these are your auxiliaries. And then you have your main out, which is your master out. And this is how it looks on the mixer screen right here if you press the mixer screen. So you do have auxiliary inputs, and you do have a main out, which you can add effects to when you get done. And then you have synths and all that other good stuff. And then one of the good things that I do personally on here is right now for my ins and outs, what I do is when I want to see my tracks, I actually have it on metering mode. I have it on RMS because you can have it on peak, which is cool. A lot of people use peak in a lot of other programs, but this actually has a RMS meter, so you'll know about where your sound is at, because RMS gives you more or less a true representation of how loud your sound is. I wish it had LUFS, but we have to use RMS for right now, or you can use peak. Either one is good. It's just metering, just seeing how it just shows you a visual representation of how loud things are. So you have peak, and then you have channel size, which you can have large, you can have small, or you can have normal. I usually keep mine on normal. So let's go back into track mode. To make a beat, basically you can either keep clicking and making more tracks, but like I said before, let's go into pad mode. This is going to be your best friend. This is where you're going to be doing most of your stuff at in pad mode, because it's just super dope how they have this program laid out, and it's basically laid out to be used on the iPad, and it can use all the iPad resources to where you can make really dope beats on it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a sound in here. And they do have some good internal sounds in here you can add. You can actually swing them into the pad, and it will automatically chop it up so where you can have all the keys on the pad, or they have some banks in here the way you just click on it and it'll go into the pads. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use an audio unit instrument. I'm going to use a piano instrument for one of my audio units. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to click on this little wave thing right here. We're going to click on that, and it's going to take us to the sampler. One of the dopest samplers ever made, and it's just really that good. It's actually way better than the sampler, even in my MPC software that I use on my computer. This is just super dope. Whatever they did to juice this up, good job. Really good job. All right, so what we're going to do is we're not going to actually swing a sample in. We're actually going to use an audio unit, and if we want to swing a sample in, we can click on this, swing a sample in. But today I'm going to make a beat using no samples, except for the drum samples. What we're going to do is we're going to press this right here where it says press to load a plug-in, an audio unit plug-in. And we're going to select the audio unit. We're going to go down here to Pure Synth, which this is probably like one of the dopest ones. So usually we double click on this, but with Pure Synth, there's like a little glitch. So if you double click on it, sometimes it doesn't pop up. This time it did. But a lot of times what I do is I go to show plugin. It doesn't happen on all the plugins like this, but on this one it does. But this is a very powerful instrument. You can get this through your Apple store, Apple apps, whatever, for dirt cheap, and it comes with tons of dope sounds, and it sounds really good. It's a rompler, so it's similar to like Nexus and stuff like that. So I'm gonna choose the body piano. Let's see how that sounds. Sounds good. That's what we're gonna use, and we're gonna go back to the pad right here. So now, and basically we can play this on the pads. Now, as you can see, we got some pads that are kind of darkened out. Those are like the black keys on your keyboard. So if you want to play the pads and know where the black keys are at, there it is. But you can also click on this little piano thing or keyboard thing, and it'll take you to the piano roll. Sounds good. And then what you can do is you can make this bigger or smaller, and you can go up octaves. We're gonna stay on middle C. Now you can actually do this. You can actually do this on this too. and go up an octave. As you can see, octave is selected. That's cool. Now, if you want to use chords and scales, it does have a scale maker and a chord maker. I just did a video on this, so if you want to look at that, go back to some of my other videos so you can see how to create chords and scales in here. But it's really dope. It does have some really dope chords and scales to where you don't, even if you mess up on playing other keys, you will still stay in that key. It's crazy, but I showed another video how to do that. Now, we have an octaves thing right here, and we have a semitone. So if you want to go up a semitone, and that's how you can play in different keys just by being in different semitones. So we're gonna keep everything in the key of C for right now, since everybody knows how to play the white keys. So we're gonna keep that off, take it off semitone, just keep it. And then we're gonna make a beat. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna click back over into here. Let's find something. And I did have like a whole, I do have like a whole MIDI keyboard setup, but I know a lot of you guys just have just the iPad. So I'm just gonna do everything on the keys on the iPad. So I kind of like that. So that's cool. So let's go ahead and record this in. We're gonna press that to make sure it's starting on beat 1, and we're just gonna press record and make a beat. Make sure you have your metronome turned on, and make sure you have your pre-roll turned on to 1 bar. All right. I just completely destroyed that. So let me let me undo that, and then let me do that again. All right, cool. So now we got that in. Let's exit out of that, and then let's go back into here. And as you can see, we made a pattern. It's okay, I probably messed up a little bit, but we didn't loop it. So what we can do to loop it, we can turn the loop on, and as you can see, the loop turns on at the top. So when you turn that off, it doesn't highlight. When you turn the loop on, it does. And we're gonna loop this all the way into the, from 1 to 9, which is 8 bars. We're gonna do an 8-bar loop. Okay, so we have that in there. We have a loop, we have a sound in there ready to go. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go either 2 ways. We can add another track from right here, which we can just keep adding another track so we can add some drums and stuff, because I'm just gonna add some drums to it, because you see how we can easily just make a VST sound. But the best way to do it is go right up here to the pads and then just click plus, and it makes another track for us inside of the pad right here. So as you can see, here's B1, we had A1, B1, and B1 is right here, and it's completely clear. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add some drums. They do have some internal drum sounds that come with the program, but I've already imported some. If you guys wanna learn how to import some drums, all you have to do is go back to some of my other videos, and it shows you how to import drums into Beatmaker 3, which is super easy. You can do it from Dropbox, you can do it from your files, you can do it from your iCloud. It's super easy to do it once you get your drum sounds. So what we're gonna do now is add some drum sounds. I already have some in here, and I'm gonna go into my imports. And I already have a few drum kits in here, and I'm gonna add a clap. So I'm gonna use that clap. I'm just gonna import it into a pad. Sounds good to me. So now I'm gonna exit out of that so we can see this top part right here, and we're gonna add a clap. And as you can see, you can hear with the piano, I messed up on it. So let's go back here into track mode. And what we can do now is we can actually click on the piano and it shows us the notes. And then from here, I'll see what happened and we can just expand this out and see what happened. Oh, look at that. Let's move this back. There we go. That looks good. And then it seems like we have another one right here we do not need. And then we're just gonna expand this out. So yes, we can do stuff like this in Beatmaker 3. Dope. All right, so let's see how that sounds now. Let's go back to my pad. We can go back to track mode. And see, this is pattern mode, so we can actually go in and change up individual notes. You can actually type in notes as well. Super dope. We'll go back to song mode. Let's just see how this sounds now. And I really want to go deeper in here, but this is just for you to get started. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add another track, but this time I'm going to do it the more conventional way. I'm just going to go right here and I'm going to add another track, create a new bank, bank C, and we could have did it in here and it creates another bank right here, bank C, which is just another track. They just call it banks in here. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to pick a hi-hat. I like that one. And then the good thing about this is, with this program, even when you put a hi-hat in here, you can press this button right here called keys, and it'll spread the hi-hat all the way across the whole spectrum. And we can go down an octave. It's super dope. Or we can go up semitones. It's dope. So you can do this with any sound, any sound. And this is not even using the sampler yet. The sampler is crazy. And I do have another video explaining how to use a sampler because I've done a lot of loop tracks on here. But if you want to see a video that's more in depth, just let me know in the comment section. I'll show you how to use the sampler. All right, so we have this. There's two ways we can do it. We can just press on it like this. But Beatmaker 3 actually comes with a very simple tool called the roll tool, where we can just, all we have to do, select on the sound and just click on it. Because it's a 1/8, we can just click on it and it'll just go. Or we can do a 1/16, a triplet, or 1/32. Makes it super easy, and we have a 1/4. And the good thing about this is it works basically on a velocity thing, so I can do like this. Super dope. So let's go ahead and record that in. That's dope. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna turn off the metronome because I don't need it right now. And I'm gonna add in a bass drum, which is some 808s. So I'm gonna add in another track right here, plus, takes me to D. And then I'm gonna add just, you know, some trap bass. Dope. And then now I'm gonna use my keys tool right here. So do that. And then we can actually use it for more. If you like to see more pads, you can always do 64 pads. And then you can send this down an octave. Very similar to like the Ableton push and other stuff. So we're gonna just stay on that octave. I'm an MPC type of guy, so I kind of know where, you know, I'm at with this. And on my MP, I like to have my root note start here. So I'm actually gonna use the semitone and move this up and have this start right there instead of starting here, because I know with these sounds, all I know is. so I know where it's at. Okay, now you don't have to do it in the pad. You can still go right here. And this automatically has a cutoff function, so when you're in the pad mode, it automatically cuts out, so you only can play one sound at a time, so you don't have sounds crossed over. So I thought that was a good thing that they implemented in here. So you can do this sound on here. I like to do them on here. You can do this with any sound. So let's find with a key. I played it in C, so it should be right here, but we might have to do a little fine tuning just to get exactly what I want. But let's just play it. Yeah, so that's right. So let me turn this piano down just a little bit. All right, turn that down just a little bit. All right, so right now, this bass is not tuned the right way, so it's showing G. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to get this. So let's play it. All right, so that's gonna be my root note right there. Sometimes these basses are in key and sometimes they're not. This one's definitely not, so I had to find out what a root note was, and I usually just try to find it from the highest note. And to find a root note, basically all you have to do is just keep playing it, and whatever key sounds good on whatever else that's playing along with it, that's basically the root note. So you gotta use your ears a little bit. So let's go ahead and record this in. All right, cool. So let's go and add a kick. And we're gonna add a kick that I put in here, really solid kick. And not that one, this one right here. Sounds good. Let's put on the keys. Let's see what's going on here. I like that one. Let's add that in there. And then say for instance, we want to do like some rolls, we can just easily just do some stuff like that. You can do that too while it's recording. So let's just do it anyway. All right, sounds good. So we got a very simple beat in here. We could add more to it, but I just want to show you guys how to get started. So now we got the beat in here. We have a loop already. So now what we want to do is we want to make this into a song. So all we have to do is go right here to this tool right here. Just grab a tool, and then we can just go ahead and highlight all that. And then we can either duplicate it or we can repeat it. I'm going to repeat it just a few times. It's just my method of doing it. There's probably another better method of doing this, but this is my method. So, of course, we don't need the kick and the bass for right now, so we can remove those. This is going to be like the hook part. So after that, we're going to take this kick and bass, and we're just going to take that out. And then we're going to take this kick, this bass, and do the same thing. And that's going to be the other hook part. And move that. We're going to take the kick out of that part right there. And pretty much that's about it. If we had another sound, I would add some more sounds to it. But this is basically the track. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to highlight from this verse part to that, and I'm going to repeat that. Now I have a full song. So we play it back. All right, cool. So it's okay. It is what it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of like mix it a little bit. So sounds good already. I don't have no headphones or anything on, but it sounds good, even out the iPad speakers. So let's just go ahead and mess with a few things and see if we can have it sounding pretty cool. All right, one thing I can kind of hear is I think the piano needs a little EQ into it. So what I'm gonna do is I got the piano highlighted. I'm gonna go right here to audio effects. I'm gonna add an audio effect, which I'm gonna add, either I can add the 6-band EQ that comes with the program, which is cool. Yeah, we'll use it. So what we'll do is we'll do a low pass. Well, actually, my bad, high pass. I'm sorry. We'll do a low pass on it. And then we will do, turn that resonance thing off. And we're gonna cut it to about right there and see how that sounds. Sounds good. And that should be cool. All right, sounds pretty decent. I'm not really gonna do like a full mixing thing on here, but as you can see, you can actually go in and add effects to each one of these. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to add a limiter to the track. You can use either one of these, Dynamics processor or whatever. I actually have the Fab Filter plugins. I bought the whole suite for like $100. Like the whole Fab Filter suite for the iPads on like $100. It's crazy. So I'm gonna go down here. I might just add the Pro L2 on here, show the plugin. It looks exactly like the real Fab Filter plugin on the computer. And I'm just gonna limit it real quick. And as you can see, I have this on LUFS because that gives me a better representation of what I'm looking at so far as like volume. All right, have the whole thing done. I put a little bit of mastering on it. And, you know, I just want to make sure that, you know, I have like a limit on it. I don't try to hit it too hard. As you can see, I didn't hit it that hard, and I still got almost like -9 LUFS, which is very loud. So now we have the whole thing done. We have to export it. How do we export it? It's very simple. So click out of that, Now you can export right here. There's several ways of exporting, and as you can see, it actually saved the session for us already. So what we're going to do is we're going to click save, and we can do save or save as. It's the 13th of September, Friday, the 13th. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it because it's probably going to be the only beat I make today because I have a lot of stuff to do. So now I saved the beat, session saved as September 13, 2019. What I'm going to do is I'm going to export it. Now, we export it, we can export it by the loop, or we can export it by the song. So what we're going to do is we're going to export it by the song, which the duration is from bar 1 to 104. So it's 104 bars in here, so we're going to do it as song. So if you do it as a loop, it's not going to do it the right way. So we have to do it as a song, okay? I like to do mine in wave 24-bit, and I turn the normalization off because I don't need it. Now, if you want to break these tracks up and you want to do some stems and have all your tracks on separate tracks so you can send out to people when if you have like a BeatStars or Airbit page or whatever, you want to do like a premium lease or whatever, you can do it. You can actually export it as tracks. So you can actually go to tracks right here. It has all your tracks. And then what you can do is you can do export all, and it's going to highlight everything. I didn't use any auxiliary tracks, so I can take those off. And you can send the main out too. I like to send the main out as well. But that's how you can do it that way. But we're not going to do it like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to export. We're going to do it, as you see, it says song or loop. What we're going to do is we're going to do it as song, 24-bit, and we're going to start export. So while that is exporting, it's a pretty, quick process. So it's done. So now the export is actually saved in exports session September 13th, and it has that in the directory already. But what I like to do is I like to share this export so I can use it on multiple computers or whatever when I'm done. So if I'm in a session, I can just pull it up from whatever. Now, there's several ways you can share it. I have several things like I can share it through Audio Share, which is a very great program to have because you can keep all your files and stuff together. Or a lot of times I just save it to my files folder, which is I can't even think right now, but you can save it to your iPad. You can, or you can save it to a different folder, like your iCloud folder. And like my iCloud folder, I have beats in here. I can throw my beats in here and I can add it into my beats like that. And then once I do that, I'll be pretty much done. So you can add it to that. You can add it, keep it inside the program. You can add it to Audio Share or whatever you want. You can send it to your documents. You can send it to Dropbox. That way you can access your files, or you can just save it in here. And if you're with another Apple computer, you can AirDrop it, whatever you want to do. So basically, that's it. That's just a startup of how to use BeatMaker 3. There's way more things that we can do in here, but you guys asked me so many times to do a beat from start to finish in BeatMaker 3, and I went ahead and just did it because, there's a lot of y'all that hit me up about doing it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something from it. If you did, please leave a like and please leave a comment, and make sure you guys please subscribe to my channel because I have a lot more videos on BeatMaker 3 and other programs as well. All right, you guys, take it easy. Until next time, peace out.